Hi friends, today is Holy Tuesday. I have to remind myself every day what day it is because sometimes I forget. So if I ever forget, please forgive me. When I'm at home, things get a little confusing when I'm here all the time. Anyway, I hope you have made something that looks like this or printed this out. If you haven't, you could ask your parents if you could print it out because it's helping us on our journey through Holy Week. So we started with Palm Sunday and the celebration that we had when Jesus rode in on the donkey. And then yesterday we talked about Mary and Martha and being included on something important. And then today we're going to talk about Lazarus. So my little piece that I'm keeping track of that's supposed to represent Jesus is a bell. So I'm going to put my bell right on that. And what's cool about us talking about Lazarus today is that Lazarus happened to be the brother of Mary and Martha. So let's hear this story. It's a little sad, but I promise it turns out really happy. Here we go. 3 of Jesus's good friends included a man named Lazarus and his sisters Mary and Martha. Jesus was on a long journey when he found out that Lazarus was dying. It took Jesus a few days to travel to see his sick friend. When Jesus arrived, he saw Lazarus' sister Martha. She had some sad news. "Jesus, Lazarus is dead," cried Martha. "I wish you could have arrived earlier. You might have been able to save him." Jesus tried to comfort her. "Martha, don't be sad. Lazarus will live again." Martha believed what Jesus said. Then Lazarus' other sister, Mary, came to greet Jesus. She wished Jesus had come sooner too. "Jesus, if you had been here, Lazarus might still be alive," she wept. She also believed that Jesus could have healed her brother. Jesus was sad because Lazarus died too. He cried and cried. Jesus, Martha, and Mary went to the tomb. Now remember, the tomb is where they buried people in that time. So it was almost like a cave, and they would wrap them up and then put them in there. And then they would get a big stone and put it to seal the tomb so people wouldn't go in. So they went to the tomb where Lazarus was buried. Jesus told some people standing there, "Take the stone away from the tomb." So this is them being really sad. And my favorite part of this whole picture is this little one right here. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's some sort of animal, but the animal it looks like maybe a little afraid or sad. I think our animals get afraid and sad too. What do you think? Okay. The people were so surprised at what Jesus said. Martha reminded Jesus that Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. They had already made his body ready for burial by wrapping it in special clothes, but Jesus knew what he was doing. He insisted that they open the tomb. When the heavy stone was rolled away, Jesus said, "Lazarus, come out!" The people were frightened and amazed that Lazarus came out of the tomb. Let me show you that picture really quick. They are very happy. And look at Lazarus. Since his hands and feet were all wrapped up in burial clothes, the people needed help Lazarus. When the people saw Lazarus alive again, they laughed and they sang and they danced. Many people that day believed that Jesus would bring new life to all people. Isn't that great? Look how happy he is. So I would like for you to share now with someone who is with you and maybe all the people who are at home with you. When is a time you are happy to be alive? I want you to share that. I would also love if you guys want to call me and tell me about that or even text me. I would love to hear about that. And then tomorrow we're going to move to Wednesday. I wonder what story will be then.